using some assistive technology instead of writing. Hello, I'm going to start doing some videos instead of writing, as I find that I learn better from the videos than reading text, and it's also easier to show this. We have a 4+ program that's just an amazing program called Career Connections that focuses on supported employment, and they have an assessment rubric that they use to help guide their services. We as a high school have decided to start using these same skill sets, which consist of 39, and to do a summative assessment and then go into a formative assessment. So whether you're involved in transition or you're looking at this as a way to do some forms, I think you'll be interested in this video. The query function, which I just learned about from Google Guru, and I will have some links on there. It's just amazing. It basically allows you to, with this formula, replicate your data screen so that you no longer have the problem of whenever you enter data from a form, it would automatically insert a row, which means you had to copy your cell formulas all the time. I just discovered this last week. I am now hooked to Google Guru. So back to what we're using this form is this is a summative form. So this would be something that we would look as to get students to see what skills they need to work on. Where do they score low on the Likert scale? This is what it looks like. To get to this, first of all, to make it your own, you need to get make a copy, and then you have it. Then you own it. You own all the data. You don't have to worry about confidentiality, all that stuff. So you make a copy. It'll come up copy of Career Connections, da da da, and it's yours. And the forms go with it. So this is what the form looks like. So the form, if we go to live form, it ends up being a scale here. And student 1, student 2, you could actually put names in there. You can edit the form simply by going back to this screen and doing edit form. Okay, so you can edit those things out and easily edit things and make them your own. For instance, this should be select instead of write the number. I need to go back and fix that. But it has these broken down into categories. And then what you get is this would be for maybe once a year IEP thing, snapshot, have different people fill it out. You notice it's completed by relation to student. It's always interesting to have the student fill it out, have the parents fill it out, have other service providers fill it out, and see where there's connections and disconnections. Often with assessment, it's not the data, but the process that is valuable. So you're going to have that filled out, and then it comes back into this form. And by using this query form, we can replicate so that when we go to summary, you no longer have to copy forms in that. See, these are zeros, but you notice that this is an individual that must be following my sites or somehow is using that, and that's awesome. These are public access. I'm glad that she's using student, just using a student 1 anonymous here, because when you make it your own, then you can do that. But it's now copying that automatically. So what we were thinking is, based on this, looking at really just the hard data, what we would do then is we would go into progress monitoring for employment skills. So we were going to be able to do something like this, where you would be one person would be able to go in and select the student and then go right to their individual 5 skills or something. So if we go to that, and you notice that I go to the live form, I'm going to be able to select a student. I'm going to select student 7, okay? And I'm going to put test into here, okay? And it self-populates. I'm testing it again. Here I have changed it to select. I'm going to hit continue. Now it's going to take me to student 7's page. Now again, we can edit this. Okay, so this would say Joe Smith or something, and this would be maybe, you know, 1, 2, 3, maybe J1, J. It's good to label these headings, but it depends on the skills we've selected. This could be 3 skills, could be 5 skills, could be 10 skills. Anyway, we go through and we hit these things, just randomly hitting these. We hit continue. It allows for comments which are optional. It's always good to have comments. It's good to know maybe you know, some narrative about what's going on. In this case, I'm not going to put any comments in. I'm going to hit submit. Okay. We no longer have this emailing the person because this would be more internal stuff. And I hit submit and see, okay, now it's going to go to thanks, and that's a little slow. And now I go back into my formative. Voila, there is student 7. Okay, because of this neat query function, I now can go to summary, and I have a score, which would be out of 50 in this case. I mean, this is something we could add. I'm sticking to 5 skill sets, but we have a score here. Now, let's say I only want to see student 7 scores, and I want to see the time stats, so I want to see student 7 scores. So I'm going to go to filter. Oh, filter was on, sorry. Turn filter on. I'm going to go to student, and I'm only going to select I only want to see student 7. So every time student 7's been entered in there. That's all I want to see. That's all I get. I get student 7 scores, I get the dates. Now you go into your IEP program, you put those in. At any time you can go into your form and you can edit it, and you can change the skill sets for the individual students. Here's what the edit side looks like. I've put a bunch of go-tos and page breaks and everything. You know, you could make this a scale for PE class. You could make this pretty much for anything. Okay, any kind of survey, any kind of Likert survey. I like the 1 to 10. You get more of a range that way. Um, check back with me and see how this goes. This is what we're going to go to so that we can see if what we're doing is actually getting us to the goals that we need. Thank you for paying attention to this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me an email, curtis.brogue@gmail.com. I'd love to know what you think, and I'd love to know how this can be improved. And if you come up with some new twists, that would be awesome. I'd love it if you would share. Thank you.